My bones, I'm running through your mind even when you're on the road. And I'm gonna smoke this dope before I head out on my own. Surrounded by people, but I still feel like I'm alone.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the chosen one, Is Nen, and I'm here with my first ever video for you guys. And basically, it's gonna be an introduction video to who I am and what is my goals with this channel, and maybe just a little bit about like what I like anime, what are some of my favorite series, what are my favorite series, and just like, let's have a good time. Let's vibe. All right, so first off, I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. As you can see from the title, who is Nen? Who is Jules got Nen? So basically, my first name is Jules. I'm based out of Florida. Just to give you guys a little bit about myself, I'm in my early 20s, and I am going to school right now for information technology. So the plan after school is to go into a career like that. Like I said, quote unquote, the plan. So before I get into my goals for the channel, I want to give you guys a little bit about how I feel about anime and just what are some of my favorite series and kind of how I got into anime. Like, how did I really get into anime? So let's go into that first. So basically, how I got into anime was as a kid, I was living in New York at the time. That's where I was born. And my mom was dating this guy, and so he came over one day, and I was watching Power Rangers, and you know how every kid, 5, 6 year old, watch Power Rangers, yeah, pow, pow, pow. Okay, but yeah. So he came over. He's like, "Yo, why are you watching this kiddie stuff?" And I'm like, "Bro, who are you? You're not even my dad." But he ended up skipping the channel to a Toonami block. I believe it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't remember. It was a while. I was like 5 or 6, like I said. So he put on Dragon Ball Z, and that's like the first anime I really saw. And I kind of just seen like just the scenery of the show and just how the characters interact and fall. I was like, yo, I was hooked. I was like, I've never seen nothing like this. And watch cartoons, back in the days, yeah, or Courage or Rocket Power or SpongeBob, etc. But I've never seen nothing like Dragon Ball Z. That was like my first time encountering an anime, and I was just like, yo, I was hooked. So after that, like, I'm buying VHSs, not me per se, but my people's buying VHSs. I'm hooked. And then having these VHSs, they show you other animes as well. Like, I started seeing commercials for hakasho. I started seeing commercials for Cowboy Bebop and a lot of these popular series during the time. So then I started watching those. And then once the early 2000s started coming, which at the time, that's when I started getting into this. It was like 02, 03. I was pretty young at the time still. So once 04, 05 came around, that's when, the big three started being very popular. So you had the One Pieces, the Bleach, and you had the Narutos. So I started getting into those. But I was not really into Bleach and my One Piece like that. But I got hooked to Naruto. So I kept with that for a very, very, very long time. So moving forward, my love for anime just kept growing. I just kept watching more and more and more and more and just loving different series. And I've watched so many. I can't really tell you. Like, I have so many favorites. I can go down a list and tell you like 20, 50, 60s of animes that I can tell you that I love and just enjoy. But we don't have enough time for that. I'm trying to make this video, short and simple for my first one. So I'll just go into my favorite three, like my top three, the three I would pick, because I can't have a top 5 or 10. I just love too many series, and then I'll have to argue why this is my 5 or why, I don't. So I have my top 3. So first, let's say hi to my boy Ken Kaneki right here. So my first is Tokyo Ghoul. The reason why Tokyo Ghoul is my all-time favorite anime, it has more of a sentimental value to me. I feel like Ken has similarities of feelings that he went through that I kind of went through in my lifetime. Of course, I can't go through the supernatural things of his world, but I mean, like, as him as a character, him as a person, how he was feeling inside, I felt like that before. So that show kind of helped me during those times, and I rewatched Tokyo Ghoul plenty of times, and especially during that time, I watched the first 2 seasons over and over again because at the time Re wasn't out. I enjoyed Re. I'm not the happiest with its completion, so don't think I'm picking Tokyo Ghoul as like I think it's the best thing in the world. No, it's just per se the series that to me drew out the most out of me as a person, drew the most out of me just wanting to keep watching, keep learning about the characters, and keep learning about the world, and just keep me entertained and keep me more into the show than anything. I mean, at any show I've watched, I can watch Tokyo Ghoul and never get bored and never be like, oh man, when is this show gonna end? I could always just keep watching it. Like, I just could keep watching Tokyo Ghoul forever. And just to give you guys my 2 favorite characters from that series, of course, number 1, Ken Kaneki. Nothing to say there, he's the GOAT. And then my second would be Amara. I love Amara, I feel like he helped Ken get to where he needed to be in the end. Because it was all him and Neto's plan to make Ken the one-eyed ghoul. So I liked him and I liked his character and I like how very mysterious he was the first 2 seasons. I don't even think we seen him the first season really, but the second season, when you see him and you see him fight the one eye ghoul, quote unquote. So when you see him fight that, he's just going ham and he's just dodging and stuff like that. And you're kind of curious to how is he so strong? He's only an investigator because at this point we only really seen Amon fight in Mato. So seeing Amara was just different. He was just on a different level. And I can't disrespect Suzu. Go. But not on the Amara level. You feel me? Not on the Amara level. So moving into my second favorite all-time series, unfortunately, I don't have any visuals behind me for it. I need to find one. I just haven't found one I particularly like the most, but it has to be that good old Yu Yu Hakusho. I would say that's my all-time favorite 90s anime. I just love this show, man. I rewatched it recently, and just the goosebumps watching the Dark Tournament and even watching the Chapter Black arc. That fight between Shinsu and Yusuke was just it gives you chills, man. It just gives you chills to see two of the same, but just pick two different paths. So it was pretty cool. And then even the demon world arc was just amazing. I loved it. I love to see Yusuke going into his, lineage and just seeing like what that world is like. And it really isn't that bad per se. It's just not as bad as, when we're watching the show and they're making it seem like this demon world's that ferocious bad, but there are actually some very intelligent demons down there, and they actually don't all want to kill humans. You know what I mean? There are bad demons in their world, but you kind of just see that it's not all pent up to be what the show is trying to make you seem like it's to be. Sorry, that sounded weird, but Yu Yu Hakusho. So my two favorite characters from there, one is Yusuke. I just love Yusuke. I loved him off the rip. I just think he was funny. His personality was great. I felt like they gave him that punk kid in school, and they made him very important and gave him an important role, and it helped his character development. Him being spirit detective made him the man he is at the end of the show, and I love that about the show. And just how Genkai kept on pushing him to be around friends and family, and kept on pushing him to care about what's important, that fighting is not always the most important thing, because you kind of see how her downfall was in her relationship with Toguro. So she's kind of trying to give her protege the advice to not make the same mistake she made. So I have to say I love Yusuke, man. Yusuke's character development was amazing throughout all Yu Yu Hakusho. And my second favorite character, he had a lot of growth in the show. And I just think he gave the show life. He made the show funny. He made the show like when a series, he gets you to laugh. He gets you to not be so tensed up in the moment. Because when you love anime, you're passionate about it, you just get so tense in tense moments. You get hyped in hype moments. You get sad in sad moments. And you're happy in happy moments. So he kind of broke the mold during those tense and high, those very serious moments. So I love Kuwabara, and just to see his growth as a character, from him essentially being very weak but having a lot of spiritual sense, he can sense spirits and all that. He had a high spiritual sense. So I don't know the particular wording for that, so sorry if it said it funny. So he had that, but then also he grew as a fighter, and now he has one of the most OP powers in the dimension sword. So he's a monster, for a human. He's a beast. So I would say those are my two favorite. So moving on to my third all-time favorite, it knocked off Cowboy Bebop for me. And I would say third is kind of tied to as well, because I love these series equally as much. So I'll go with the first series. So the first series is Hunter x Hunter. I recently watched it because I was just very ignorant back in the days. I never wanted to watch it when everybody was on it, and everybody was geeking it up. So I ended up watching it recently, and I enjoyed it. I love Togashi. That's my favorite manga. I think he's genius. I mean, it might not be my all-time favorite works from him, but I just think he's genius. I love what he's done with both of his series, and I love what he's just done for the culture of anime in general, man. Even being sick, he's pushed out 2 good series that are very successful, which is extremely hard to do in any type of work you do, whether it's video games or whatever. But not to get off topic, he's the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? So Hunter x Hunter, I love the world building. I love the fights. I just love how they progressed everything so well. I would say the only arc I had a little bit trouble with was Greed Island arc, just because it was a little bit slower at some parts, but it was a very good arc overall. I love how they didn't make Gon super OP off rip, which Shonen has a trouble of doing, was making most of their main characters OP off rip. So I like that about Gon. They could sense that killer instinct in him, but he wasn't OP. Like he was still getting thrashed, and like even his first like arc he encountered, which was the Hunter exam arc, Hisoka was destroying him. Like all his friends, like he was bodying Leorio, he was bodying Killua, he was bodying Kurapika, and I just like that about the show. So I would say my two favorite characters from that series. I can't include Gon because I'm a Gon fanboy, as you can see back here. Like all time favorite moment from Hunter is when Gon went crazy on Pito. That's like the most hype moment for me. So my two favorite characters outside of Gon, I would have to say, is Netero. I love his Nen ability. I love Gunyin Barasapa. I think it was very, very, very cool. And I love old school martial arts. So I think that's why I really love Netero. I just love how funny he was as well throughout the show. Like he wasn't very serious all the time, but you can kind of see how powerful he was at the same time as well. I'll have to say my second favorite character from Hunter. This is a very tough one because I love most of the characters. I love a lot of the characters. But I would have to say Phaeton. I just love Phaeton. He reminds me of Hide in a sense. From not Hide, Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. Sorry about that. So he reminds me of him a lot. So I kind of like Phaeton a lot. So I would have to say those are my two favorites outside of Gon. Because I try not to put main characters in my favorites because you're gonna like the main character majority of the time. I know people don't always like him, but majority of the time you're gonna like the main character. Type of Hunter has to be Haikyuu. Haikyuu, after the last couple of years, has been one of my favorite series. I've been enjoying it like crazy. I just love the growth of the whole anime and the manga. I'm curious to see what this second half of Top is gonna do because I was looking like they're gonna just finish the Karasuno game versus the twins, Maya and his brother. So like, I think they're gonna just finish it for this season. And season 5 will kind of give you the Nekama game and the game against the I forgot his name. I always forget his name. But the other short dude that's pretty beastly. That he kind of looks like a bird, but I gotta get his name. I always forget it because I started watching the anime first, so I forgot his name. Even reading the manga, I forgot his name. But yeah. So when they play their school, and the rest of the manga is adapted to the anime. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with that. If they're gonna do 5 and 6 or just gonna do 5. So we'll see. But the reason why I love this show is just the intensity of the show. The show just gives me hype. The feels it gives me, you feel for these characters. You start to feel for these characters, and I like how they dive into their backgrounds, like in the different characters' backgrounds. It's not just let me focus on Obio. Let me focus on Shoyo. They give everybody shine, and I like that. I just like the show just a lot. And then what I took out of the show, not just the show, but in the ending of the manga as well. Because this is some anime and manga channel. I keep forgetting about the manga because I read the manga as well. What I got from the manga and just finishing it after the anime, I got that, with Shoyo, just because you're short doesn't mean you can't be great. And then with Kageyama, just because you're great doesn't mean there's not somebody better. And you'll see why I think that way about the show. So my two favorite characters from the show, I'm going to start off with Shoyo Hinata. In sports anime, I just love the underdog, so he ended up being my favorite because I just loved him, and I just love his passion for, his particular sport and how he just seen the tiny giant on TV. He's like, bro, I want to be like this, man. And just started playing volleyball. Like, that takes a lot of courage, and, it's kind of like me with YouTube. Like, I've seen a lot of the dudes I watch, and I look up to, and I'm just like, bro, I need to do this. So I just started doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just kind of how I feel about him. He's a dope character. Like, he just doesn't, he doesn't make excuses. And you kind of see his first really challenge when he faced off with Kageyama in middle school. And, Kageyama asked him, what did you do for 3 years? But not knowing that Hinata didn't have a boys team at his school and that he was just practicing with a couple of his friends. And he was practicing by himself. Like, he really tried to play this volleyball and, try to do this volleyball thing. You know what I'm saying? He really grinded. And I just love his character. Even when he goes into Krasuno and starts to deal with Kageyama and, the Daichis and the Asahis and Nishinoyas and the, the whole gang, you know what I'm saying? He different personalities. So I just like how he adapted. He loves his teammates and he goes hard for his teammates, And, even, his relationship with Kageyama and Suki, Suki doesn't like anybody on the team, I don't think. Like, he be flaming everybody. So, just to see that, it's just great to see his character develop and just the passion in his eyes when he's ready for that smoke, when he's ready for that pressure and he's ready for the good fight. So That's why he's my first favorite. My second favorite has to be Toro. Like how, but nah, I mess with him. He's dope. He's a dope character, and reason why I like him, I just think that um, as a setter, he just has a very polished game, and he can make everybody around him better. He went on a college team in one of the episodes and just made the college team super nice. You know what I'm saying? Like he adds so much value to a team. And it's kind of interesting to see like his feelings towards Kageyama back in the days, and Kageyama's feelings towards him, because Toro was envious of him because this dude's essentially a prodigy elementary kid coming in here, taking his sets during practice, and he's frustrated. He gets very frustrated. At one point even tries to hit Kageyama, and Kageyama's not understanding why. He looks up to Toro. Toro's the dude. If he won setter of the year in his middle school, he kept on losing to Shiro Torizawa, and that's kind of what happened to him. He kept on losing to the school, and the great ace they have over there. So that's essentially why he felt the way he felt. And then you have Kageyama on the other hand, just like praising this dude, like, yo, like I was like the best setter ever, like this dude's a GOAT. And like it's cool to see like Aikawa kind of humbling himself and kind of like in certain episodes trying to help out Kageyama like grow as a setter and stuff like that. I don't know. I just like the dude. He's very cool. He has a redemption to him, and I feel like even later in the manga when he's helping Shoyo, develop his game. So I don't know. Aikawa's dope. He's a really really dope character. So that's why I like him. So with that being said, what are my goals for this channel, and what are my goals in the future? So my goals for this channel is to, make it an anime-based channel, do my anime and manga reviews, do recommendations, do reactions, and then later on, once I'm consistent here, because I got to be consistent here first before I venture out into any other content creating platforms, my goal is to do Twitch, stream on there, have a podcast eventually, once I'm consistent on here first and I start to get a little bit of a following. And just to, go into that too, I'm doing this solely pure off of passion. It has no desire of, solely just making money. I mean, if it does make me money, cool. If it does give me a career, cool. But it's not why I'm doing it. I want to tell you guys my intentions for making videos are purely just to, just give you and show you my passion about anime and just kind of talk about it, because sometimes not everybody's always caught up like me, not everybody's always on top like me, and it'll be cool just to, get on a 10-minute, 15-minute video and just tell you guys how I'm feeling about a certain series or a certain episode or a certain chapter, and I don't have to feel like I'm spoiling it for you guys, because I know you guys, if you're coming to watch, you're up to date, what I'm saying? If you see the, description of the video, I know you coming for that heat, so, it'll be cool. It's like I get to talk to you guys through, YouTube, so, and just all my anime fans through YouTube, so it's super dope, and that's really why I'm making this channel. And hey, if it gives me the tools to be successful outside of being passionate about anime, cool. I'm more than grateful, what I'm saying? But I want to tell you guys, this is purely off passion. This has nothing to do with me trying to get money or me trying to make a career to get somewhere else. No, I want to do this because I just love anime. I truly love it. When I watch it, it just gives me goosebumps. I just love watching a series, and just gives me good vibes, and I just feel good while watching it. I feel like I'm safe while watching anime. I can go on and on and on and on and on how I feel about anime, but in this world, if I can choose anything for the rest of my life, and it was that one thing, it'll be it. I have to have my anime and my manga. I just really need those in my life. So, hopefully everything goes good. I'm consistent on here. I do work, and I am going to school. So be patient if I'm not consistent some weeks. If if my workload's too much on a week, I'll let you guys know. I'll probably do a short video and be like, hey guys, sorry for not uploading this week, etc., etc. I always want to keep you guys up to date with everything. So as much as I can, I'm going to try to be consistent with you guys, try to get you guys these videos. Like I said in the beginning, my name is Is Nen. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed what I had to say, drop me a like. It'll be much appreciated. Also subscribe if you want more, if you want to see my journey, if you want to see how this channel develops, if you want to see anime, if you want to see some fire vids, subscribe, and also tap that bell button for the notifications. You need them noties, what I'm saying? So drop that, and also below in the descriptions I will drop my links to my social media, so if you guys want to check me out on social media, you're more than welcome to. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed month, and a blessed year. Until next video, It is your boy Jules Guy Nen, and I am out.